What's interesting is that 5 days ago, President Prabowo's first state visit was to Beijing, China. So to have both leaders here and talking about how the world should work together in this choppy weather is great. At the end of the day, Asia Pacific, this is the land of more than half of the world living here. We cannot only talk about few pockets of people doing well, but we need equality.
Indonesia's green transition requires a significant amount of money and expertise. How do you see China contributing to that?
China and Indonesia can work very well, not only for both countries, but also for the world. Number one, the technology for renewable energy, China is very much advanced. Whether that's solar, wind, hydro, and nuclear. And number two, in terms of processing critical minerals that Indonesia has. Nickel is just one example. With China technology of this smeltering to make it much more value-added products. And the third one, also on digitalization. So at least on those three fronts, China and Indonesia can and should work together and everybody will benefit.
In a written speech, Chinese President Xi Jinping said economic globalization is caught in a tug of war between obstructive and driving forces, but the driving forces still prevail. Tariffs on EVs are an example of that tug of war. What are your thoughts on this?
Trade wars in general is never good, right? Having said that, Indonesia will be able to navigate through these challenges. Number one, the China Plus One strategy, so that they can take advantage of what Indonesia has to offer from the critical minerals below the ground and then the renewable energy potential above the ground while protecting the biodiversity. And number two, the trade of Indonesia to China, for example, they still have a long way to go. And lastly, I think in terms of the clean technology, I think China has put a lot of efforts to it. Now, in applying those technologies, Indonesia can be a nice hotbed for experiments and a huge market of 285 million people. But in the long run, I think we need to get together as a group, like in Apec or G20 or any other group for multilateralism in the discussion.